Well, nice to see everybody here. I'm Kevin from Mtivity. First Procurecon event, it's been great so far, so hopefully you'll take a few bits away from this session as I have from some of the other sessions. Hopefully we'll kind of keep you all engaged after lunch. Great to see a few more people trickling in. I'm here with Carmela from Campari. I'm sure Campari will need no introduction to those of you in this room. I'm obviously from Mtivity. Some of you may know us, some of you may not. We are a SaaS organisation that underpins lots of the marketing services organisations globally. Historically, we've specialised in that space, and in the last 5 years or so, we've engaged more directly with brands such as Campari. We're going to spend a little bit of time today sharing with you the journey we've been on over the last couple of years, I suppose, 18 months, talking about how Campari transformed its POSM operations using technology, what worked well, the challenges they faced, and how that's going to set them up for success in the future. So, ciao, Carmela. Perhaps you can start just by introducing yourself, your role at Campari.
Yeah, I'm in charge of this role that is called Retail Excellence and Innovation. So basically my job is to bring solutions for perfect executions in our outlet. And I am part of this function. Global function is a global integrated marketing solution. So our objective is really to build solutions for our in-market companies.
Super. Okay, let's just maybe set the scene for everyone. Yeah. What does POSM look like at Campari? How important is it to the global business?
Yeah, as you said, I guess everyone knows Campari. So we are a company, or we are a spirits company, but with a strong focus on aperitifs. So our mission is to build memorable experience and to deliver this strategy. POSM play a strategic role. So it's not just point of sales material as something tactical, but it's strategic because through the point of sales material we basically build our brands. We deliver, our objective is deliver memorable moments, and to do this we need to build many different types of materials. So we have different categories starting from the glassware that are relevant, are important to drive the perfect serve, to the visibilities, because in the moment of the consumption is where you choose what you drink, our elements, our items are driving your attention, but also in the retailers, also in the off-premise materials, with our displays, we also drive the purchasing decision. So it's something extremely wide, because we work for around we deliver our POSM in around 90 markets, because our main objective is to consistently deliver the same memorable experience all around the world. So it's something extremely strategic for the company, as it is for other categories like media or experiences.
Super, thanks. So, super strategic. Sounds pretty complex.
Super strategic, but super complex, actually.
What does the supply chain look like, partners and things?
Yeah, we have a very complex operational model behind our POSM. Our critical part is more or less lasting 15 months, so it's something that we deal from the beginning, from the ideation of this point of sales material to the delivery to the outlet. So it's extremely complex also for the type of categories that we work with, and we aim to have the right partner for each type of categories. So extremely complex with many vendors, but every of these vendors is relevant, is important for us to deliver the perfect experience in the outlets.
Right. So before we get into the kind of what you did, let's take a look at before this initiative, what was working well, what were the challenges that you were facing?
Yeah, so as I said, we have different vendors. We have great vendors, actually, I would say great partners that have helped us in bringing PSN to life. But any of these vendors actually was also providing their platform. So we were basically stuck in a very complex environment where for each type of, for each vendor, we had to implement their own platform. And this was basically translating several experiences for our customers. So my customers are marketing and sales in the market, and I was ending up to have different platforms according to what they needed to buy because of the different vendors. So different platforms, different level of integrations, different way of working, and this was quite painful from my point of view. That my mission was to simplify things, to make our PSN easy to buy, easy to get, without any excuses. Sometimes the excuse was, I don't know where I need to go to buy my PSN.
So what was the point in which that you said, look, we need to do something about this? There's clearly the different technologies that you've mentioned there, but what was the turning point of, hey, look, we need to do something different?
Yeah, actually when I started this job was around 3 years ago. I realized the need to have something simpler. My ambition was to extend the scope of work of my team. So when I joined this team, I basically had a very strong focus on point of sales for on-premise, so whatever you find in our bars. And my ambition was to extend the scope, I would say horizontally and vertically. So horizontally because we wanted to provide also off-premise tools to our market, so what is needed for the retailers, like value-added packs or displays, permanent cardboard displays. Or also, I would say vertically, because the objective was also to provide more solutions for what is more bespoke and more premium. So we were really great in providing materials for mainstreams, activations, but we had many lack in terms of solutions for what was needed for more premium outlets, more bespoke items. So at that time, I started to look at solutions that could simplify my job, and I started to engage with people in this market, and I found Mtivity, I would say.
Great. Okay. So, and I know now from kind of working with Carmela and Campari for a little while, you've got technologies within the organisation already. SAP, Coupa. Did you explore using those for this?
Yeah. Well, when I started this journey, of course I involved my procurement colleagues and my IT colleagues, and both were part of this journey. And so we explored all the possible solutions. We did a very amazing RFP, and we assessed all the different solutions. But the problems of these tools like Ariba or Coupa that are already implemented in Campari, they were not fitting our needs. So they are great in providing an easy experience in terms of purchasing a service, but when it comes to materials, so things that are more related to product supply chain, they had many lack. And we were missing many functionalities, so these tools are not able to manage the aggregated purchases, so we could not add the order window tool that is mandatory for us, because our materials are costing less as more as we buy. So, as also they don't support you during the creative order window, the creative sourcing process. So, very good in what they do, but actually they don't consider all the nuances you need when you buy point of sales materials.
Right. Thank you. And I think you've mentioned there around order aggregation being really important to you as Campari to facilitate the activity that you do? What else was important for you to, what's in that must-have list of things that you wanted to?
Yeah, of course, yes, or the window, creative side, let's say whatever is needed to SAP integrations, because still are materials, are inventory. But for me, the most important thing I was looking for was the independency. So I was looking for a tool, for a platform, for a mean to get independent from our set of vendors. So I was looking for someone, for some solution that could help me to implement a multi-vendor approach, because I was looking for more autonomy, or let's say I wanted to drive the agenda of point of sales materials. I wanted to drive the roadmap and not wait for the developments of our vendors. So I was quite keen to have something that could allow us to decide what were the priorities, what needs to be done first, and which has to be the journey of my customers that are, again, sales and marketing people. So independency, autonomy, and then translating flexibility to work with who was the best vendor for what I was needed was my main requirement. And I think this is what I was looking when we did the RFP. So I was not looking, and I was quite afraid to work with any IT company because I had to work with people that maybe didn't know what means under the window, didn't know all the why are such milestones ending or opening of the window relevant, and you cannot postpone. So I think this is what I found in Mtivity as a key success for me, a key driver of selections, because with you I've been able to set the right objectives with the right priorities in the right list, what needs to be done.
Okay, thank you. So in terms of the implementation, then, kind of moving on a little bit there. So we've understood what what's important to you. You've engaged and explored existing technologies within Campari, and you've gone out and found a vendor. So how did the implementation go? We've already said at the start, 90 markets, complex environment. What did that look like?
Well, I cannot say it was easy. It was definitely challenging because it's challenging what we do. But the partnership approach we implemented with Mtivity, but also with our partners, with our suppliers, has been the key way to succeed. So we have defined the core functionality we needed. We decided, we agreed upfront, we made clear from our side what was not compromisable, what was not postponable, what was must-have, and we then worked around that list. And when things were moving, then we were starting to go ahead in like nice to add functionalities. But making clear the objectives and starting from the most important things is what we have done so far. So I think now it's time for us to draw a line and say it has been definitely successful, and make the step ahead and bring this tool to also let's say monumental.
And your vendors, we spoke about them, or partners, we spoke about them at the start. How did they engage through that process?
Well, I think from Campari's side, we have been very clear with our partners on what we were looking for and the reason why we were doing this. The feeling could have been they were feeling to lose business or to be threatened, but actually when we explained them that we were just looking for a solution that could allow us to have the agility to do more, to bring our innovation agenda next step and let them focus on what was their job. So has been actually embraced from them, and involving them in the process or in the development process also made everything successful. So actually my great partners has played a key role also in implementation of this tool because they help us in bringing to life our vision without any complaints.
So we've spoken a lot about, we've got half an hour of time, so we've spoken a lot about the kind of initial phase, what does the future look like in terms of the platform? What's in your...
Well, we have a lot of things to do now because we did the simplest, I would say. Stock items always available, order windows, so specific moments when you can get an order. We did the SAP integrations that definitely was the most complex piece because everyone has its own SAP and we had to adapt. Now the next step is to work on more customizations and co-collaboration, co-creation with the market. What we need is also we need to reach the same level of perfection we had on on-premise materials, also on off-premise materials. So the agenda ahead of us is quite complex, but I'm very optimistic on what we will deliver.
Absolutely.
Do you have something to add on the next step?
Well, I think there's, in terms of, from our side, I think we see in the market and working with brands like Campari, lots of different opportunities to kind of innovate and share ideas. And I think we've spoken a lot about AI today and sort of more so yesterday. So yeah, I think there's a huge amount that can be explored, both driven by the kind of Campari needs and agenda points, but also innovation that's brought from what we see in the market.
It's a promise.
Okay, so last question from me. Hopefully there'll be some people in this room that have kind of maybe on this journey already, maybe thinking about doing something. What advice would you give to them in terms of that journey?
Yeah, I recommend every big company to do this journey actually, because it can bring a lot of benefits. But what is extremely relevant is to be clear on the priorities and to treat it as any change management project. With a strong involvement of the key partners that of course are sometimes partners, sometimes as I hope will be any of you here, the driver of these changes. So have the right people involved in these projects, like IT, like procurement, but also in-market companies that are so happy to support these projects. So treat these as a very a relevant change management project with all the relevant and important things that need to be done in terms of communication, setting the objectives, and defining the must-have from the beginning.
Yeah, I think that last point is really important. I think that's one of the things from our perspective in terms of that partnership approach, of working with you guys as a customer. I think that reasonable and pragmatic approach to these are the things that we need by this time. We've got these other bucket of ideas here. Let's explore how we can deliver those either for day one or after. Trying to turn the Titanic all at once is sometimes a bit of a challenge. Super. Okay, so we're a little bit over our planned kind of chat time. Really appreciate your time. Thank you, Carmela. We've got a smidge of time for any questions from anybody, if there are any. One. Half a question. Perfect. Okay.
And anyway, we are there. All right.
Well, thank you for coming. Appreciate your time.